They burning the country down with their progressiveness. It started with changing what gender is, then graduated to you're racist if you think that your life matters and your skin don't have melanin. They don't want peace, they want skeletons. They want men to pretend that they're feminine. They don't want an election, they got so offended by freedom that they just try killing the president. I used to think that the woke were misguided, but now I can see that they're evil. Twitter is angry that Trump isn't dead. You know who got shot? Innocent people. Thought y'all were tolerant, thought we were equals. I thought you valued how everyone feels. Then why are y'all celebrating an attempted assassination like you're part of Antifa? Thank God the left can't aim. Thank God the right don't riot. Welcome to the home of the brave. Freedom ain't afraid of violence. You wish you was dying? Bitch, you missed. Thank God the left can't aim. Why can't we just shoot straight? Y'all are going insane. Bitch, you missed. There's no one else you can blame. Tried to lock him up in a cage. Now you trying to kill what you hate. Bitch, you missed. Told us trust the science, but it never made sense to me. Why would we put all our trust in the enemy? Millions of people are hooked on amphetamines. They're making billions on untested remedies. Borders are open to people with felonies. Biden can't stop them, he don't have the energy. Y'all wanna kill the man trying to fight for a better tomorrow by making him Kennedy? I tried to give y'all a chance, like maybe the left isn't nuts. I was wrong, cause y'all are exactly as crazy as every conservative person I know said you were all along. Wanna protest? Go hard. Wanna burn flags? Go off. But y'all are so triggered that you're pulling triggers at presidents. Y'all the terrorists when you're armed. Thank God the left can't aim. Thank God the right don't riot. Welcome to the home of the brave. Freedom ain't afraid of violence. You wish you was dying? Bitch, you missed. Thank God the left can't aim. Why can't we just shoot straight? Y'all are going insane. Bitch, you missed. There's no one else you can blame. Tried to lock him up in a cage. Now you trying to kill what you hate. Bitch, you missed.
What's going on, anybody who's watching, and welcome to Mikerock Uncensored. Hopefully you guys can see that we have done some work. We are trying to be where it's at. I want to have real conversations with you all. I said, I don't care about the celebrities, the politicians. I don't care about all of the other influencers who have a reason to tell you like it is. I want to tell you like it is from my own perspective as a down to earth human being who is going through the same stuff that a lot of you guys are going through. And we are doing that right here at Mikerock Uncensored. And then speaking of, talking about the people instead of celebrities and politicians, we are going to talk about a celebrity situation, but not necessarily for the same reason that other people are having this conversation. And you have to forgive me, man, because I got lunch right here in front of me. I'm going to try not to ruin this conversation by me chewing too hard or whatever the case may be, but it is what it is. And before we get into all of that, my only real big announcement is if you guys ever enjoy the content, man, please choose to subscribe and follow me here, wherever you're watching this from, whether it's YouTube, whether it's X, whether it's Facebook. And then as you can see right here, we are trying to grow our channel primarily through Rumble, because Rumble is the only video platform out there right now that I do not have to worry about being canceled with, because I'm talking about things with the people that the media, the politicians, and the celebrities don't really want us to talk about. So if you guys can follow me there. Rumble is growing. The media will want you to believe that it is a conservative only platform, and it is not. It is a platform for free speech. So you get both sides of the story. You can see it from the Democratic side or the liberal side. You can also see it from the conservative and the Republican side, but at least you're getting all of the information and you're staying more informed about things like your voting decisions, what's going on in life, parenting information, all of that stuff. You get it from both sides, and you're less likely to be influenced because you're now open to make your own decisions with the education and information that you see. And a lot of it's fun. A lot of it is fun. So anyways, with that said, the P. Diddy situation. So we all know that dude's guilty, man. There's, the FBI waited. I'm going to say they waited. They did wait, but they're saying that they waited to gather up all this information to make sure that they had basically a try-hard case against Diddy. But I think it's deeper than that. If you guys look back, and in case you haven't seen, I really love my layout. Watch, you're going to see this. You're going to see this part. Wow. So if you guys go back, Is this mine? This is not. Oh, this, I think this is. Let me go to my content so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Back in, let's just go to my channel and then we'll go to my playlist for Uncensored. This is just one of a couple of videos that I put up, but you can see or go down, you'll see George Soros on the cover. And I think it was like 3 months ago, so it should be right here somewhere. Right here. The shocking truth behind pro-Palestine campus funding. That wasn't the only video. I just don't want to spend all of this time looking for the other videos. But about 3 to 4 months ago, I started speaking out about the difference between anti-Semitism and then this Jewish community or this Jewish mob that exists within the entertainment industry. And my point that I was making is that there is a difference between Jewish people and then different sections, different sects of the Jewish community. And when you look at what's going on in Hollywood, there is a mob, there's a sect. And I said it out loud that there is a sect in the Jewish community that is really up to no good. It happened. I mean, it's everywhere. You've got it in the black communities, the white communities. You have these sects. The difference, however, is that the Jewish community has done really, really good. They've been really, really good at disguising, at hiding that other part of that one part of their community by labeling everything anti-Semitic when they don't like what they're hearing about that one particular group. So people like Candace Owens, and I'll even go as far as to say Kanye, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. Why, as more information comes out, it's easy to see how Kanye West was set up and labeled anti-Semitic when he was speaking against the same group that I've been speaking against. And it's I don't know, man. I there's a lot of information that still needs to come out, but we know the freak offs happen. And me personally, you do you. I don't care about the freak offs themselves, but I do care about some of the things that happen within the freak off, like having child sex workers or minor sex workers. Can I even say that out loud? I got to really tone down some of the conversation, because it's not that it's not facts. It's just the fact that platforms like Facebook and YouTube, they don't want to hear. They don't want you to hear. So those guys, the minors that were in that they forced in that industry, I have a huge problem with that. In fact, that's probably my biggest problem, because you have adults that they say were drugged in that P. Diddy situation and forced against their will as a result to perform acts that they wouldn't have performed had they not been either drugged or somehow coerced into doing those things. And I think it's bigger than that. And yes, Diddy is at fault. Diddy needs to go to prison. But I also believe that there's a bigger play here. I don't think with all of the information that Diddy has, Diddy right now is the new Epstein. And with all of the information that Diddy has, I think we're starting to see something. And I honestly think that they're trying to figure out a way to calm this all down, because they don't want the real story coming out. They just, in these lawsuits and in this criminal indictment of Diddy, there's another person that's been named. His name is Lucian Grange. And I'm going to go ahead and let you see this right now, that Lucian Grange is a member of the Jewish community. Again, not all Jewish people. This is not an anti-Semitic comment. I'm talking about that Jewish mob that I've been preaching about since almost about as long as I've been doing these kind of conversations with you guys. But Lucian Grange, you can see it right there. Early life and career. He grew up in a Jewish family. I believe if they dig down deep enough, I think that they would find that Lucian Grange was probably friends with Jeffrey Epstein as well. So there are those connections are there, and it's starting. A lot of it is coming to light. But the reason I wasn't speaking on the P. Diddy situation for a long time, because the only thing I knew about it, because of what the media was feeding us, was that there were these freak offs. There was these people was getting nasty. They was doing nasty things. And That's none of my business. As long as, like, you guys want to be gay, you guys want to be freaky, whatever it is you guys want to be, that's none of my business. I don't care. I wasn't even speaking on it. Like that's celebrity slut stuff. You do you. But when they started digging more into the situation, they started realizing that there were minors involved. That's when I started getting a little bit more curious, a lot more curious. And then you find out that they're claiming that people, these victims, these adult victims, which everybody all of a sudden, guaranteed. I predicted it back then that there was this Jewish mob that existed. It's coming out to be true. I'm telling you now. When all of these people who are about to be named in this whole P. Diddy whatever situation, we're just going to call it a situation, everybody is now a victim. That is the picture that the media is going to want to paint, because when all is said and done, I'm 100% positive that this is not exclusive to the entertainment industry. This isn't just about rappers or actors, other celebrities. I think that we've got, in fact, I'm almost 100% positive that we also have politicians that are going to be implicated. There's going to be foreign nationals, I believe, that are going to be implicated as a result, at least from what I've been seeing. All of them. I think the reason why they're making such a big deal about the drugs and stuff that were involved is because they're going to use that to, instead of sending people to prison, to slap them on the wrist and say that they were just victims. They did something wrong, but it was because of this victimhood narrative that we have created to help get people off the hook, period. They're already looking for excuses to quiet the situation down. I'm going to make another bold prediction because of everything that's going on. And I'll get back to it. I'm rambling right now because I got about an hour to speak with you guys before I got to go pick up my kids. I planned on doing this earlier, but, a brother man's been dealing with family issues, being a father and everything else, and I just couldn't get around to it. So we're talking on it, and we're going to get there, I promise you. But there might be a little bit of back and forth in the act. I was going to tell you my prediction with Diddy, but I think we kind of need to lead into that. There is, without a doubt, a Jewish mob within the entertainment industry. They've been controlling things for years. I told you I'm not an expert. I didn't know enough about the entertainment industry. I wasn't afraid to tell you that. But with all the information that we were getting, I knew enough. And I think anybody with any kind of rational thought knew enough, saw enough to know that something was not right in the entertainment industry. But because it doesn't pertain to us at the time, we just choose to ignore it. That's just entertainment stuff. And I don't think it's that at all. I think it's deeper, way deeper than that. I honestly believe that these freak-offs or these situations, these compromising situations that people have been put in, have also been used to control certain narratives in politics, narratives in the entertainment industry. It is, I mean, it's not hard to see. It's easier to label people crazy and say that they don't know what they're talking about and sell that to the general public because we're not there. All we can do is take what the information that the media gives us and trust that it is the truth. And we now know that the left-wing media, they're not about selling actual reports. They don't sell you the news. They sell you narratives. They give you information to sell different narratives. I don't know how long that's been true, but once I started opening up my eyes and stopped accepting their version of the truth because things didn't sound right, you then begin to see that there's a whole lot of things that everybody is not telling the whole truth about. In politics, in the media, in the entertainment industry. That's the reason why I don't trust celebrities, because they don't represent the people. The politicians don't represent the people. That's why I preach all day, every day. Why are we listening to people who don't represent us? Why are we taking their truths as our truth when they're not struggling like we are? They don't see the day-to-day activities that are happening that we have to deal with. They don't see none of that stuff, but we want to be influenced by them. Let's vote Democrat because Taylor Swift said so. All of that stuff, we need to be listening to each other more. We need to open up our eyes because there are some very bad decisions being made in this country that have nothing to do with us. They're feeding us whatever BS propaganda we want to hear so that we vote. But at the end of the day, we also lose because we weren't voting for ourselves. We were voting for everybody else. We were voting for them, those celebrities and everything else. But like I said, again, it's just crazy because they're going to sell us one narrative on this whole P. Diddy situation. They want you to focus on the free calls. They'll even throw the minor situation out there. They're going to put out the drugs, but it's a setup. They are setting you up to protect everybody else that was involved. I can promise you that. You won't hear all of the names that are in those videos and that are in those indictments. They'll name a lot of them. They'll name the people that they want to throw under the bus. And then the other people that get implicated as a result, like a Lucian Grange, what's his name? Grange, like a Lucian Grange. They're setting up an excuse. They're allowing them to now become victims in this whole situation. And if you're an adult, my opinion, but if you are an adult that got involved in this, anything related to P. Diddy, these freak offs, having what do you call it? Casual. We'll just call it casual relations. Casual relations with people in the industry in order for you to get ahead. I'm having a hard time feeling sorry for these people. You can get mad at me all you want, but here's the thing. At one point in your career, whether you were just, except for the kids, this does not apply to the kids situation. This is different. I'm talking about adults. But if at one point in your career, you were introduced to the option to go along, play along so that you can become rich, or to say, this is not me. I can't do this. I'm not going to compromise myself in order to get to where I want to be. I'm not willing to go that route. It was an option, and you chose to compromise yourself. Now, again, I don't condone a lot of the things that happened in that situation, but as an adult, we keep talking about my body, my choice, and all of these we say these things out loud when it applies to something that we want to support. But the truth, the one thing about the truth is that if it applies to one thing, it applies to everything. And you had a choice. You may have been misled to get to that point, to get to that option, and I apologize for this. You may have been misled to get there, just to get you to that point, but there was still that defining moment in your career where you were given the option. Even if your first encounter was you were drugged. Now, you didn't have that choice right then and there. But what happened after that? What happened when you became sober? Like, how many times do you have to be drugged? How many times does a bad thing have to happen to you before you decide to call the cops and say, hey, something's not right? That was your option. That's your option right there. If you continue in that, because you know what? That's a sacrifice that I have to make in order to get to where I want to be. That was your choice. Now, again, I don't feel the same way about the whole kids situation. Why? Because, again, I've been preaching from the very beginning, mainly with the school issue. Kids are underdeveloped mentally and physically. They are easily influenced, and you can pretty much dangle a carrot in front of their face, make things seem fun, and they're going to want to be a part of that because they are so easily influenced. And that's the reason why I don't believe kids should be able to make certain choices in life. We won't get into those choices because we know what they are. You guys know what I stand for, what I stand against. But again, truth is the truth no matter where you apply it. So I say kids don't have the mental capacity to make certain choices in life, which is why they are being raised by their parents, why they are being taught in the schools, and why we have to be very careful about the education we give them, because they are being groomed, whether it's groomed in their parents' faith, whether it's being groomed in their parents' culture, or whether it's being groomed through whatever information the school systems and our government want those kids to have. They are being groomed and recruited for a certain thing at a very, very young age. And I am against most of that. Parents are there for their kids. It is their culture. They have that right, that authority to raise their kids how they see fit. And then, of course, if they're abusing their kids in any way, then yeah, it's the responsibility of the people and the government to step in and say, this is real abuse that this kid needs to get removed from that situation in one regard or another. So when it comes to the kids, no, they didn't have a choice. There's one exception, and that's Usher. Usher went from being a victim to become a predator. He's to me, at least until they show me differently, Usher, as far as I know, is responsible for handing Justin Bieber over to the whole Diddy family situation. And from what I understand, I think a lot of this is going to come out. Justin Bieber was then passed around, just like other people, which I'm going to get into now. There's some people that I think the public owes an apology to, and another reason why people need to start opening up their eyes to what narratives the media and the government and these entertainment moguls are selling us. Well, dude, I despise the idea of being tricked, of being manipulated. I don't like it when people play me for dumb, and that's exactly what's happening. From with the big wigs, everybody up there somewhere else, when they're speaking down to people like us, they are playing us for dumb, straight out. Here's my examples. The people we owe apologies to. We'll start with the biggest one, Orlando Brown. Some of you may remember him from the Disney Channel. What was it? That's So Raven. He's been labeled as a crazy person, someone who's addicted to drugs. But you listen to what he's been saying, what he's been preaching for years. You ask yourself, why does he have the addiction? Why is he labeled crazy? Remember those two, drugs and crazy. Because he was coming out and he was saying that he was victimized by P. Diddy and others, people like Bow Wow, people like they say Drake is involved. And these are all alleged. I'm going to say these are alleged. I'm not going to, until the courts determine who was involved, until the video footage and stuff comes out. I'm just saying alleged. He was saying years ago what Diddy is now in trouble for. But until they had enough information and evidence to prove it, they went ahead and manipulated us into believing that Orlando's bigger problem was that he was addicted to drugs, that he was a mental case. And now we're starting to see that it was the reverse is actually true, that the reason why he was doing drugs, the reason why he became a mental case is because of what they were doing to him in Hollywood. Hollywood's sick. But think about that. Remember I said drugs, and then I said crazy. What other celebrities have you seen whose careers have you seen ruined simply because they chose to spoke out? David Chappelle. I don't know. Do you guys remember what happened to David Chappelle when he turned down? I think he turned down $50 million to allow them to control his situation. He also came out and said that they wanted to put him in a dress in Hollywood, and he was against all of that stuff. Next thing you know, he has to remove himself. He gets sent to Africa for mental issues. That's all we knew. And there's more to that story. But the thing is the minute he decided that Hollywood, he was going to stand on his own 2 feet and not go with the grain in Hollywood, all of a sudden he's crazy too. You want another example? Let's go with the most recent one. Kanye West. Now, what are they doing with him? Oh, he's anti-Semitic. He's crazy. He's been loony ever since he lost his mom. Oops, sorry. That's my son calling. I told you I gotta be out of here in about 30 minutes. But he's crazy. He's not all there. And it all happened because of when he lost his mom. It was plausible. But when you look back at some of the things that he was saying, oh my God, just a second. I apologize. Bro, when I decline your call, you text me because I'm doing something else. How do you not know? I declined your call. Then why didn't you just text me anyway? I'm up here live on stream cussing you out because you don't know how to text people. What do you want?
Parade for homecoming.
Yeah, you could have texted me that. I would have texted you back. Bye. Woo! Sorry, that's my kid. That's me being dad. You guys saw it live here on the stream. I don't understand my kids sometimes. They do. They know if I don't answer the phone, send me a text. But for whatever reason, text not good enough. He needs to hear my voice. And then I got to turn around and be dad. I apologize, man. Where was I at? Oh, Kanye West. They're trying to say that he's the biggest anti-Semite. They don't want him on social media at all for any other reason. They've chosen to ruin his career. Who chose to ruin his career? Kind of funny how the minute he starts speaking out against the Jewish community, and again, he wasn't speaking. He says it himself. He's not speaking out against all of the Jewish community. It's that entertainment sect, that cult in Hollywood that I have been preaching against for the longest time. He spoke out against them and had his career ruined as a result. Are they all crazy? I don't know. I think you would have to be a little crazy to know that your career is about to be ruined because you stand up and speak out against a little thing. Even I am a little crazy in that regard. But I would rather be a little bit crazy and stand out and say, hey, this is not right. To know that something bad is about to happen to me in order to stand on the side of right. That's a good kind of crazy to have in the end. But you're going to go through some shit. Excuse my language. You're going to go through some things as a result. And that's what happened with Kanye West. The dude came out and spoke out against the people who were doing him dirty. He said, no, Diddy, though. What's going on, Crasso? He came out and he spoke out against them, and all of a sudden nobody in the world likes him. That's how much of an influence the Jewish community in the entertainment industry has become. Kratzo, man, thanks for liking the stream. That's how powerful they actually are. You speak out against them, they're going to make the world believe that you're speaking out against all of them. But now it's coming out, and everybody that they called crazy, they owe an apology to. Everybody just about that they said it's been doing drugs. They're the reason why they're doing drugs. Period. I'm going to let you see something. Now, again, remember, in this whole P. Diddy situation, they literally said they named not only Diddy, but they have named Lucian Grange. He, at least right now, is the head of this big, giant Jewish cult that's in Hollywood right now. He's the head of it. Period. The minute P. Diddy got indicted, do you know, there's a lot, I don't have all the names. I'll get them for you, but there's a lot of people in Universal Music Group that instantly resigned to remove and separate themselves. Think about how big that is. You have a well-paying job. You're in a high position of one of the richest companies in this country, and you instantly decide to resign and remove yourself the minute that P. Diddy gets indicted. You know the shit's about to hit the fan. Excuse me, I gotta fix my hat. All right, man. I'll talk to you in a bit, man. Well, good luck on your date. I'll probably see you tonight when you give us more information when we're streaming tonight. And if you guys don't already know, 6 p.m. tonight, we talk shit, we do drinks. Some of these other people be high, but we're playing Call of Duty. You guys are more than welcome to find us there. Mikerock Gaming, Twitch, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or even here on Facebook. We'll stream live here on Facebook as well. All right, back to what we're saying. So I'm going to remember the name Lucian. I'm going to show you an older video with Kanye. This is part of the reason why they're labeling him crazy, on drugs, anything other than what he could possibly be. I'm just saying, I'm not telling you who Kanye is. I'm literally telling you who he is not. I'm going to take you back over here. Is it this one? No, it's this one. Nope, it's this one. Listen to what P. Diddy not P. Diddy. Listen to what Kanye West has to say about, and listen to the name. This is Drake and Lucian. Wait, I hope I got it right.
It cuts Drake's soul. It's like he signed his soul to the devil to not be cool with me, to have to, like, this is his job to go against God. And it cuts his soul. Drake has a rich baby daddy named Lucian and Universal. Wow. He's like, like, man, my daddy got it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, my daddy controlled the spins. My daddy got the DSPs. Drake has a rich baby daddy named Lucian.
So all of his streams and the number ones is controlled by someone named Lucian.
You hear that?
Drake.
Kanye came out and said, he said it. Drake has a rich baby daddy. It isn't just Drake. In another interview, I believe he said both. He named both Drake and Diddy have a rich baby daddy, or a sugar daddy, basically. And his name is Lucian and Universal Music Group, which Lucian is in control of. These are the real dots that need to be connected. All of these freak offs and stuff, like I said, I care about the kids. I care about people who have been drugged against, forced against their will, and immediately remove themselves from that situation. You know who those people are because they filed these lawsuits. They filed lawsuits against Lucian. They went against the grain, filed lawsuits against Diddy, against Universal Music Group, against Lucian Grange. They're coming out saying this is not right. But everybody else kept quiet about it. And it's those people that kept quiet about all this. I don't feel sorry for you. I don't feel bad for you unless you are a kid, a minor in that situation. I do not feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for the ones who were coerced, who were drugged that first time. But the minute you decided to go with the game plan so that you could get rich too, I don't feel sorry for you no more. You lost any kind of credibility. You lost any of that stuff. And even with Orlando Brown, they've been passed around until they were no longer useful to them. So I'm grateful for him exposing these people for what they were. Yes, I believe that he was a victim to an extent, but if you went with the plan that long, I don't know, man. I'm gonna tell you what I would do. First of all, with me, I'm trying to hurt some people. I really am. I probably would not be alive to this day if I was in that situation as an adult, because I would be trying to hurt some people, like really, really bad. We won't discuss just how bad I would have been trying to hurt some people, but I would have been trying to hurt some people. Oh my God, I thought I turned everything off and then something else just decides to be louder than the last thing. I got to be more prepared, guys. I got to be more prepared. This is how you know you're old, because you don't know how to turn your volume settings and everything else down. I'm trying to see, and then I need to see if, for whatever reason, my thing did not go live on Rumble, and that's where I'm trying to. No, it didn't. That's crazy. Oh well, maybe it's just time for me to get better anyway. So Orlando Brown. Orlando Brown just, he went with it for a while. I don't know what made him stop finally. Maybe it just got to be too much. Maybe he was in a situation to where he wasn't popular anymore. He stopped making money. And so now the best thing for him to do at that point was to start outing people. That was, because some of these people, once they start getting that attention, they get addicted to that attention. They want more and more of it. So if, they're crazy enough to do other things to exploit people, to exploit their situation in order to keep getting that attention. So I'm not going to just say that Orlando Brown is completely innocent. None of them, to me, anybody at this point, anybody that's been involved in those situations and they're rich as a result, They're all open. They're all fair game. All of them. All of them are fair game. Period. Orlando. I thought there was another one I was thinking about. Lucian Grange. That dude, again, is the head of the snake, at least right now. There might be somebody bigger than him, but as far as I can see, when I look back at the stories, I was never able to put a name to the situation until this indictment came out. And when you go back and you hear about these music groups that have been in charge of these situations, that have been financing things like these freak-offs, that's where the connections. People don't think that the Diddy situation and Epstein is different. I don't think that they're different. I think they're an extension of the same thing. And I'm going to do my homework and I'm going to find out if there's a connection between Lucian Grange and Jeffrey Epstein. I'm almost positive. I don't even know. I'm telling you right now, as of this video, in this minute, in this second of this video, I don't know. I'm going to find out, though. And I'm willing to bet. I'm pretty good at betting. I'm willing to bet that there's some kind of connection between Lucian Grange and Jeffrey Epstein. And if he's been the financier behind all of this for both of them, then it's safe to say that he is the head of this snake. It explains a lot. It explains why all of a sudden P. Diddy's been thrown under the bus. And that kind of leads me to my prediction. And you can tell me if you think I'm wrong. In fact, I invite you to in the comment section. P. Diddy, I think there's only two possible outcomes. They've already denied him bail. And for those of us that want answers to this whole situation, it was the right call. For P. Diddy, it was not. And to be honest with you, I don't think it was the right call for the people involved. I think they should have let him post bail so that he could leave the country. But they didn't. So with that being said, I think there's only two possible outcomes at this point. And I got to be very careful with my choice of words here. He is in right now one of the worst jails in this entire country. People are being stabbed and assaulted in certain ways, murdered, all of these things in this particular jail. You can look it up yourself. Here, I'll look it up. I'll tell you what it is so you guys can look up this jail yourself. Diddy is in what jail? Let's see. I believe it's called the Metropolitan Detention Center. But they now have him isolated. It's a federal jail. It's a Brooklyn federal jail, and they've had to isolate him for fear of what might happen to him as a result. But you look at the Epstein situation, they isolated him, and all of a sudden, we know what happened to Epstein. I think in order to protect everybody involved in this situation, P. Diddy is not only the scapegoat, he's their sacrifice. And if he has information, if he can rat people out and expose the entire industry as a result, I think it's really easy to see where I'm going with this. That it's either he's going to be found not guilty and given a chance to leave or escape the country, whatever, or he's going to be unalived. I don't think that there is I don't think this is not the same as the whole R. Kelly situation. R. Kelly ultimately was responsible to himself. There was nobody, no real person that he could out. So he was able to go to prison for a very long time. I don't think it's the same with the Diddy situation. I don't think that they can afford to allow him to be found guilty, because if he's found guilty and the feds are actually trying to put an end to everything that's going on, then they're going to also be willing to work out a deal to figure out, to get more information, to start prosecuting and indicting everybody else. Anyways, that's my moving forward with. I promise you guys, I am at this point getting more organized in our conversation. This is only our second live stream for Mikerock Uncensored. I want to do more of these. We're going to be bringing live interviews where we'll be having fun conversations. We'll be talking mad doo-doo with guest hosts. There's a couple of them in particular that I do hope they become a regular part of the show. And for those of you guys that know my boy Will on Mikerock Gaming, I'm sure I can get him on the show when we're speaking about non-political things. But I don't, and he's always fun to talk to. He's always like a compliment to the show because we share similar jokes. We have, a similar dark sense of humor. So when I can get him on here, we will. But there is another person that I have in mind. I've just began talking with her from my Facebook page. She's just as passionate as I am with things like politics and life, and she's already said she wants to get on here and she wants to talk mad doo-doo about factual information, about the truth, and that's what we want more of. If you guys don't already know, and I'm mainly speaking to the people who do actually know me, whether it's through my Mike Gaming community or whether we grew up together as kids and you're now following me on Facebook. Number one, I am very passionate about what I'm doing. I believe in giving back. I believe in representing the people. I believe in that we need to be helping each other. I've always felt that way. It's part of the reason why I don't feed into the racism narrative. I'm black, white, and Indian. I'm mixed. I know what real racism feels like because I grew up where I wasn't white enough to the white communities. I wasn't black enough to the black communities, even though I was accepted more in the black community and the black culture than I was with the opposite end of things. But I don't feed into that narrative because I believe it's a narrative that is being fed to us, is being used to manipulate the rest of us. So instead of us doing the right thing, we sit back and all we do is complain. Instead of us taking action to do better for ourselves, we are sitting in our living rooms and on our couches looking for excuses for why we fail. And we have to stop paying attention to those things because there is nothing stopping you from being successful more than ourselves. The excuses need to stop. We need to start having real conversations because how often have you believed a certain thing? Like, for instance, the reparations. I told you guys about a year ago that you will never see those reparations that they were trying to give you guys in California, give the black communities in California. They never intended to give you those reparations. It was a talking point probably during somebody's election, like Gavin Newsom's election, to get you guys excited and wanting to vote for them. That's what they do. They dangle carrots. If it's too good to be true, chances are it's not true. But they keep dangling new carrots in front of you. Oh, you know what? We made a mistake. Let's go ahead and bring reparations back on the table. It's going to happen. Please vote for me. Thank you for voting for me. Reparations are now off the table. They are. Look, the time has come for us to start. Now, listen, I'm not telling you to vote Democrat or Republican. I don't have to. What the people need now more than anything is someone who is willing to stand up and speak truth to you guys. And whether you believe what I say or whether you don't believe what I'm saying, you have to be open enough to start listening because you have a real nigga. Get mad at me. I don't give a shit. But you got somebody real right here in front of you who's telling you that you may not agree with my opinion, but my opinion is worth something. It has a purpose. It's nothing but well-intentioned. I don't have some kind of evil motive, some hidden agenda other than I want better for all of us, the people who are struggling, the people who don't have fair representation because the government does not care enough about you to tell you the truth. They don't think you're smart enough to handle the truth. They think you're too emotional, and whatever the case may be, they feel that they know better than you. And that's the reason why we need more people speaking up and saying, hey, this is not right. This is what doesn't sound right. Here's the real information. Stop listening to them lie to you and start paying attention. You know the information is there, which is part of the reason why I went. Yes, I am a little biased now. I try to remain as unbiased as possible, which is why I don't literally label myself a Republican. I vote Republican. But I'm always on the side of right. And if I felt like the Democrats were more on the side of right, I would be voting Democrat. So that doesn't make me, wishy-washy. It just tells you that I'm real. I want what's best for this country. That's what matters to me more than anything. And if that meant voting for the Democrats, I would. If that means voting for the Republicans, which I am, then that's what I'm going to do, because I am on the side of what I believe is right. And all you got to do is be willing to open up I look like I've been in a prize fight, but I'm like, the more this video goes on, my hair gets messy, everything gets fucked up. I mean, it's getting worse. I got to end the video. I'm getting horrible. But stop taking one person's word for a particular thing. One thing I tell people all the time as a parent, and I think this is a great analogy. If two of your kids came up to you, they were just in a huge fight. You weren't there. You don't know what happened. So you got to listen to both sides of the story and try to figure out who was in the wrong, who was right, who was wrong. Maybe both of them were. I don't know. But you listen to the story. And as a parent, you already know that both of them are going to give you some version of the truth mixed in with something that is going to want you to side with them. Not necessarily a lie, but mainly they're mixing in their perspective, their perception of the truth to get you to side with them. And your job as a parent is not to take sides, it's to listen to both sides and figure out, well, they both said this, so this has to be true because they both said it. They both said this. Okay, so now where are we at? Somewhere in both sides of the story is the truth that we need to hear. It may come from one side. It may come from both. But you're not going to know that unless you listen to both sides give their version of the story. And that's the reason why Democrats don't want you. They would rather insult Republicans, insult conservatives, tell you that everything that they say is a lie just so that you don't listen to them. The only reason why they don't want you to listen to them is because they don't want to be exposed for the lies that they are telling. They can't. The minute they start being exposed for one of their lies, all of their lies become suspect. All of them. Then there are, trust me, now that I've been doing my homework, there are a lot of lies. And you can, if you choose to ignore it, if you refuse to see it for what it is, and you're only taking the word from one party. Even now to this day, I don't listen to just Republicans. I actually watch highlights. I'll say highlights because I don't like The View. I hate The View. I hate all of them on The View, even that Republican lady. I just don't. But I do watch the highlights to see what kind of nonsense is being spewed out of their mouth. I would not be surprised if they weren't being paid by the government, by the Democratic Party, to spew the nonsense and the lies that come out of their mouth. But then again, it also comes back to maybe they don't have to. You got celebrities telling you to vote a certain way for a certain reason. What do you see in Hollywood right now? Yeah, there's whether you believe in God or the Bible or whatever, there's some demonic forces in play in Hollywood right now. And then you have to look back. Okay, so you guys have been doing all this all along. You guys have been this. Everything that you've been selling us on is what you've been doing behind closed doors. everything you're trying to tell us is good and correct and right. It's because it's right for them. That's what they want. They want you to side with them, and we can't do that anymore. We have to side with us, and we can't do that if we're only listening to one narrative. So we do need to vote more. We need to stop listening to the lies. No. And I invite anybody to argue with me, and I'm going to close with this. One of the biggest lies out there right now is that Trump is the most evil man on the planet. You vote for who you need to vote for, but you need to stop lying to yourself. There's no evidence whatsoever. In fact, there's more evidence to the contrary than to the fact that Trump is a racist. You have racist people. Think about this. You have racist people because they tell you that being white is wrong. They know what they're doing. You got white people telling you that white people are wrong while they're still in power over everybody. So you got real racists telling you that another person is racist so that you take the attention off of them and you place all your hate and anger and everything else on the man that has done nothing to anybody. Go ahead and tell me why Trump is racist. He had business dealings where he was trying to kick people out of apartments because he wanted to do something else with the apartment complex. That wasn't a racist thing. That was a business thing. And whether it was a good or bad business decision, it wasn't based on race. I'm willing. You don't even have to listen to Trump. I'm willing to bet money that if you talk to other business individuals who have done the exact same thing, they will tell you that what motivates them isn't racism, it's money. You got the only other excuse I ever hear about Trump being racist is this whole thing with those kids that were found guilty and then found innocent later on. I think it was a sexual assault where these 5 black kids were found guilty, and Trump came out and said that he thought that they were guilty too, that they were guilty. And the dude's from New York. Like, if everybody thought those kids were guilty at one point or another, but you just want to use that as an excuse that Trump is racist, get out of here with that, man. Come at me with something better. You want to prove to me that Trump is a racist? I'm here. I'll listen. Tell me why he's racist other than with the Democratic Party, because now they don't even try to prove he's racist. They just go on the networks and say, why are black people voting for Trump? He's a racist. Where? How? Let me know. Put it in the comments section. I got to get out of here, man. If you guys are looking for just some non-political and conversational stuff like this, fun. You guys want to see us play video games. You guys want to be a part of the community as a whole. I really invite you guys to join us at Mikerock Gaming. Even as older adults, man, we talk trash. Yes, a lot of it is inappropriate at times, but we are there all in good fun. If you guys have nothing else to do on a Friday night, I invite you guys to join us on Facebook, on Twitch, and even on Rumble under either Mikerock Uncensored or Mikerock Gaming. I'm out of here, man. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I'm looking forward to you guys joining in on future conversations. And as you can see in my little advertisements, we're going to be live on Rumble and other networks, but mainly on Rumble on Fridays at 10 a.m. That's when we're going to be doing our live streams. Everything else for the rest of the week until things change is going to be us doing regular videos, uploading regular videos for you guys every day at 3 p.m., no later than 3 p.m. on YouTube, Rumble, X, and Facebook. I will talk to you guys again soon, man. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm out of here. I got to go pick up my kids. Peace.
They burning the country down with their progressiveness. It started with changing what gender is, then graduated to you're racist if you think that your life matters and your skin don't have melanin. They don't want peace, they want skeletons. They want men to pretend that they're feminine. They don't want an election, they got so offended by freedom that they just try killing the president. I used to think that the woke were misguided, but now I can see that they're evil. Twitter is angry that Trump isn't dead. You know who got shot? Innocent people. Thought y'all were tolerant, thought we were equals. I thought you valued how everyone feels. Then why are y'all celebrating an attempted assassination like you're part of Antifa? Thank God the left can't aim. Thank God the right don't riot. Welcome to the home of the brave. Freedom ain't afraid of violence. You wish you was dying? Bitch, you missed. Thank God the left can't aim. Why can't we just shoot straight? Y'all are going insane. Bitch, you missed. There's no one else you can blame. Tried to lock him up in a cage. Now you trying to kill what you hate. Bitch, you missed. Told us trust the science, but it never made sense to me. Why would we put all our trust in the enemy? Millions of people are hooked on amphetamines. They're making billions on untested remedies. Borders are open to people with felonies. Biden can't stop them, he don't have the energy. Y'all wanna kill the man trying to fight for a better tomorrow by making him Kennedy? I tried to give y'all a chance, like maybe the left isn't nuts. I was wrong, cause y'all are exactly as crazy as every conservative person I know said you were all along. Wanna protest, go hard. Wanna burn flags, go off. But y'all are so triggered that you're pulling triggers at presidents. Y'all the terrorists when you're armed. Thank God the left can't aim. Thank God the right don't riot. Welcome to the home of the brave. Freedom ain't afraid of violence. You wish you was dying? Bitch, you missed. Thank God the left can't aim. Why can't we just shoot straight? Y'all are going insane. Bitch, you missed. There's no one else you can blame. Tried to lock him up in a cage. Now you trying to kill what you hate. Bitch, you missed.